Welcome to my tutorial series on how to make a zombie map. In this video, we'll be going over creating our entire room for our game. So let's get started. First, we want to open up our Mod Tools folder, right-click our UGX script placer, run as admin, and then we can create our map. So I'm going to call it Room. The display name is going to be Room, and this time we're going to choose a blank map, and we're going to hit Generate. Now I've already done this a few times, so I already have the map existing, but you can just use select option for all, and then hit Yes. This is going to overwrite it, and then our map was successfully created. So we can close out of this, open up our launcher, and then go into Radiant. Once Radiant loads up, we'll be loading up our map. Make sure you do that. So go up to File, Open, and then find the map with your name. So room.map. Don't open the underscore patch, just the map one. And now we can start building our map. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build out a square. So I'm going to make a square by 16 by 16 block. And I do apologize if the grid's a little confusing for you with the video. It looks good for me, and if you're in it, it'll make sense to you. But looking at it when I recorded my first video, it does look a little weird and kind of hard to navigate. But in a nutshell, I want 8 blocks this way, 8 blocks this way, 8 blocks this way, and 8 blocks this way. If you open it up, you'll see what I'm talking about. Make sure you're on grid 8 to see what I'm talking about. Then we're going to go up to Textures, Usage, and change it to Tools, and we're going to use the caulk texture. Like I mentioned in the last video, the caulk texture allows you to have everything invisible. So if you don't see it, you shouldn't texture it, and it should be on the caulk texture. If you've ever gotten under a map and you've been able to see through the map, that's because the bottom of the map is the caulk texture. So with this still selected, we're going to hit X. This is going to be our cutting tool where you can go up here. And then we're just going to zoom in and we're going to start cutting up the map. So this is our main floor, but we also want a floor for the inside of our map. So we'll go down 4 blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, if you can't see it, I do apologize. We're just going to cut on a straight line. It doesn't have to be the full width, as long as it's on the same path. And then hit Shift Enter because we do want both of them. Then I'll go to the left 4, like so. And then I'll go to the right 4, like so. And then I'll go up 4. Oops. And make sure you hit escape if you mess up, not Control Z. It'll undo the last one. So as you can see, what we did is we created a smaller room inside. If you can see, and we could deselect this, and that would be our floor of our new room. Fantastic. So let's deselect everything, and then we're going to texture the outside of our map. So fly around and start grabbing all the walls. Make sure you're Control Shift clicking them, so that you only get the top, like I said. Control Shift click, Control Shift click, Control, and then Control. And now what we can do is we can actually go up to Textures, Usage, Ground, and for this I'm just going to choose a grass texture here. And as you can see, we've added grass to the outside of our map. Now all we have to do is add floor to the inside of our map. So Control Shift click, so we get the top of it. Go up to Textures, Usage, Floor, and then go through here to find a floor. I like this one, so I'm just going to use it. So now if you see here, we have grass for the outside and the floor for the inside of our map. Looks awesome, doesn't it? Well, now it's time to start building the walls. So what we'll do is we'll go back to the Usage, Tools, and then go to Tools. Now again, you could have built the whole map with just the caulk textures and textured them later, which I would recommend, but I just wanted to show you real quick how to do this. The rest of this, I'll just build it first and then texture it after. So what we want to do is we want to build a wall, and our walls are going to be 8 units wide, and then we're just going to fill them up the whole edge of here. We're going to hit Control Tab, and we're going to actually do something real quick. So I forgot to move this down. So what I want to do is I want to shift click the entire floor, select the whole area. As you can see, I've selected everything. And then we're going to go into this view, which is the side view, and then we're just going to bring it 1 down. That way, the floor that we made, is actually underneath this blue line. This blue line is the bottom of the world. I like it just to make things easier. I like it underneath. That way, everything that I'm on is going to be above the world. So just one thing would be the floor underneath. The rest of our map will be, because we'll be standing on this, will be above it. So then we'll deselect that, and then we'll go back to our wall and start building it up. Now in Call of Duty, walls are 128 units. If you see the grid, it's pretty much 2 blocks. But if you can't really see it, so I do apologize. So it's 128 units. And then what we're going to do is Control Tab and change our view. And then we're just going to copy this with the space bar. And then we're going to copy it again and drag it out this way. And then we'll copy it again and pull it down here. Now as you can see, we've created a room, and then what we're going to do is shift click the bottom floor, and we're going to copy that. We're going to change our view, and we're going to bring it up. So this is going to be our ceiling. We're going to make sure that the whole thing's textured to caulk, and then we're just going to start texturing the ceiling. So Control Shift click for the ceiling, go up to Textures, Usage, Ceiling, and then find a ceiling in here that you like. For me, I'll just choose the Berlin Ceilings Paint Peel. It's okay, it's not the best. And now we'll start texturing the walls. So what we want to do first is we want to find the walls in our 2D view. There we go. And also make sure that you lined up your roof properly. If you didn't, fix it. Should be the whole size as your room. And then what we're going to do is we're going to find the left wall and the right wall. And it's always good to find, like, click something on here and then line it up in the view. That way I know, looking at the camera, this is left, this is right, and it matches up to my 2D grid. Then we're going to scroll in a bit to this side and hit the X key. That's going to be our cutter tool, and we're going to cut here. We're cutting about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we're going to hit Shift Enter, that way we keep them. And then we'll go 8 more blocks. And then we'll we'll X and we'll cut them. And then we'll Shift Enter to keep them both. Then we'll do the opposite on the other side of the wall. There we go. And as you can see, what we did, if we scroll out a bit, is we cut equally on both sides. We have 2 cuts here and 2 cuts here. And then if you look in the 3D viewer, you have separations from where the cuts are. So we'll deselect both of them, and we'll just select the areas that I just cut. As you can see, I can kind of select them now. These were the ones that we cut out. Then we're just going to change the view, and then we're going to go to X again. And this time we're going to cut them again, but this time it's only going to be going 4 from the top, Shift Enter, and then 4 from the bottom, Shift Enter. And then as you can see in the 3D view, we were able to cut them all out again. So we made cuts on all 4 of these. And now just deselect them, and then select the cuts that we just made on the inside. And then you can hit backspace. And now as you can see, we've created 4 identical windows, 2 on this side, 2 on this side mirroring. I think that looks nice. And then we have nothing on this wall and nothing on that wall. So we'll go back to our 3D view so you can kind of see that as well. I mean our 2D view. Now it's just time to texture it. So again, since we won't be going outside, we don't need to texture the outside of this. So we can just Control Shift click the walls. And then you'll also see, as you can see, we have to select the areas that were cut. And then just Control Shift click these and go the whole way around the map, like so, and Shift click them. And then we can go up to Textures, Usage, and then this time we'll go into Interior Wall, and then we'll find a wall that we like. Now you can take your time and pick whichever one you like, but I prefer this one because it looks nice. And then what we're going to do is go into each windowsill, and we're going to Control Shift click the insides. A lot of people will use the wall texture, which if you do, you'll sometimes get errors, as you can see here and here. That's not what you want. So what we're going to do is we're just going to Control Shift click these, and then we'll use a different texture. I'll be using a wooded texture because, I mean, if you've ever looked inside of a window, there's usually like a windowsill of wood or anything like that. And we could also build a windowsill, but who's got time for that? If you would like to, you could do so as well, but for the sake of the tutorial, I'm not putting that much detail on the map itself. So there we go, we selected all of them. Then we can just go up to Textures, Usage, All, and then we can hit the F key up here and search for wood. So this way we can go through all the wood textures, and I don't know the best one, but I kind of like this one. It's the Berlin trim. And there we go. We've built the map's completed, and now we have our own room, as well as an outside. Again, everything that won't be seen is caulk. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and now we have a room. In the next video, we'll be going over player spawns, and then we can actually start playing our map already. It's that simple. So until then, I'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure you hit Control Save though, so you don't lose any of your progress. Bye-bye.